Hi everyone, I'm Cheryl and welcome to the Sewing Room channel. I'm going to demonstrate how to take your needlework, put a border on it, and turn it into a pillow. Now on this one, my border went all the way up to the edge of my stitching here. You don't have to do that. You can always come out and away from your Aida cloth or your embroidery cloth and leave a little bit of that background fabric showing and then put your border on it. It's really up to you. Okay, let's get started. So to start, I'm going to take my two side pieces. Now this is the pretty side. It's darker on the pretty side. And I'm going to bring it pretty side down. So the back of the fabric is duller and lighter. So here's the edge of my design. I want to take the edge of the fabric, the raw edge, and pull it out 1/4 of an inch. Okay, and then place a few pins to hold it in place. Then take your other piece for the other edge. This is pretty side. Turn it down. Bring it 1/4 of an inch outside of that design and place pins to hold it down. After you've pinned everything, turn it over to the back. And then you're going to stitch right on the edge of your design. So after I've finished stitching, I'm going to put my ruler right on the edge of my yellow fabric. And I'm going to trim this Aida cloth off on this edge. If you don't have a rotary cutter, just draw a line and then use your scissors to cut it off. And then go over this side and do the same thing. Then fold the fabric over and press it with your iron and do it on both edges. Then take your other two strips, bring it pretty side down, just like you did on the other one. Bring the edge, the raw edge of the strip, out past 1/4 inch, pin it down, and then turn it over onto the back side and stitch. So when you're getting ready to stitch, you want to stitch out here on this border fabric. So if you need to take a ruler and line up and draw a line that you can stitch on, you can do that. So you're actually starting on this one way out here at the edge of this fabric and stitch all the way down along that edge of your design and then finish stitching all the way out here and back stitch at each end. So after you finish stitching your two longer edges, you want to go ahead and trim it right along the edge of my yellow fabric and trim this off. After trimming this side off, go to your other edge and do the same thing. After stitching, take your ruler, line it up along here. Either draw a line and cut with your scissors or use a rotary cutter. So I'm using a rotary cutter and I'm cutting this edge straight. Then go to the other side and do the same thing. Because my needlework design had to do with tea, I selected fabric that had teapots on it. Now on my fabric for the back, I've added cotton batting onto the back side, and I did just a very basic quilting stitch pattern. You do not have to use the cotton batting on the back side of the pillow. You can use just one layer of fabric. But if you would like to learn how to do quilting stitches, go to my beginner's quilting stitch tutorial. The link is in the description section below your YouTube screen. Scroll down until you see the word more, click on it, and the link will appear. Take your design or the front of your pillow and turn it pretty side down on top of the pretty side of your fabric for the back. And then take your ruler, line it up along the edges, and then cut the edges off, and do that on all 4 sides. So after you've placed pins around all of your edges, you want to indicate an area where you're going to leave an opening. And because this will be the bottom of my design, So I'm going to have the opening at the bottom. So if you don't get it closed really good, then it won't be noticeable at all. So here's my opening. This is my starting point to stitch. On this side of the opening, I put 2 pins to tell me when I need to stop stitching. So right here, back stitch to get started. Stitch down to this corner. When you get 1/4 of an inch away from this edge, leave your needle down, lift up your presser foot, turn your fabric, and then continue stitching all the way around. When you get to the 2 pins, then of course you want to back stitch. After stitching, then you need to trim some of the fabric off of the corner. Now I'm using a rotary cutter. You can use scissors if you prefer. And when you cut, you want to make sure that you leave about 1/8 of an inch of fabric sticking out past this corner. And I'm going to take just a little extra off because sometimes it gets real thick in here. So do this at all 4 corners. Now, reach in through your opening and turn it front side out. Now, you want to make sure you push your corners out. If you're having a hard time getting them out, in your bag of polyfill stuffing, if you've bought a small bag, there's usually a stick, and you can use that to help push out your corners. Here's the polyfill stuffing. Before you put it inside, you want to make sure you break it in smaller clumps. You don't want it too stuck together, so break it up. I would recommend that you go to your corners first and push the stuffing into the corners, and then continue filling in the pillow until you get to the front. So after you got your stuffing in there, then you have 2 different ways you can close up your opening. The easiest one is a whip stitch. You just grab the edges and go round and round and round. There's also one called a ladder stitch, which is a hidden stitch. So if you want to do the ladder stitch, there is a separate link down below your YouTube screen in the description section. Scroll down till you see the word more, click on that, and you will see a lot of links, and that ladder stitch link will be down there. If you want to do the whip stitch, go to my pillow pattern for needlework #1, and I demonstrate how to do the whip stitch in that. Well, here it is. It's all done. Here's what it looks like from the side. Now again, if you're interested in doing other cross-stitch projects other than just making pillows, I have a lot of projects listed below, so those links will be in that description section. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and make sure you check out my Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and happy sewing! If you like the Sewing Room channel, one of the best ways to show your support is to subscribe by clicking on that red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. And make sure you click on the bell so you receive notifications for all my new videos. I'm Cheryl, this is Manny, and this is Scotty. See you next time.